Okay, so we're going to do Unit 4 revision goal, question 7. 7 is practicing doing volumes of solids of revolution around the x-axis. Now on your rule sheet, you have the rules for around the x-axis and you have the rule for around the y-axis. So that's always really important to determine in a question, which axis am I revolving around? These are all for the x-axis. So I've written my rule in here. The volume is pi, my bounds, fx squared dx. Some people like to think of the fx as my y squared, if that helps you. So for this one is volume pi from 0 to 4 root x squared dx. Pi from 0 to 4, that's going to be x dx, because square root of x squared is obviously x. Pi x squared on 2 from 0 to 4. Pi 4 squared on 2, take 0 squared on 2, is 8 pi units cubed. Always units cubed because we're a volume. B is y equals x plus 1 from x equals 0 to x equals 4. So the volume from 0 to 4 pi x plus 1 squared dx. If we were doing this tech-free, I've got to integrate this. I'm just going to expand it because it's just easy. Feeling a bit lazy today. Expand that out. Pi, so that's x cubed on 3, 2x squared on 2 plus x from 0 to 4. So that's 4 cubed on 3. Well, those 2's cancel, so it's going to be 4 squared plus 4 minus 0. Just doing the generic minus 0 because each of these terms will go to 0 if we put 0 in. What's that going to be? Because that's, if I was doing this tech free, 4 squared plus 4 is 20 on 3. 64 on 3, I'd have to make that multiply by 3. So I'd have, which would make that 60 on 3. So that would give me 124 pi on 3 units cubed if I was tech free. Now we know if I was tech active, just from the get-go, we'd go equals shift pi integral bracket x plus 1 close bracket squared from 0 to 4, execute, and I get exactly the same answer. So if it was tech active, that's all I'd need to do. If it was tech free, I would just have to do a little bit more mental math and arithmetic for it. The last one, C, is y equals sine x from 0 to pi on 2. So volume equals pi, 0 to pi on 2 of sine squared x dx. So on my calculator, I could do shift pi integral bracket sine x close bracket squared from 0 pi on 2. Make sure you check that your calculator is in radian mode for this, okay? Make sure you haven't left it in degree mode. Execute. It's 2.467 units cubed. That's if it was tech active. How would we roll it with this if it was tech free? If it was tech free, remember how we had to integrate and we needed our, so I'm just searching for my right revision sheet. Remember we used the double angle rules. So if I did tech free, I'd go that cos 2a is 1 take 2 sine squared a. I'd use that version of my double angle rule. Isolating this, 2 sine squared a is 1 take cos 2a, sine squared a, 1/2 1 take cos 2a. So putting that in over here, my volume equals, I put my half out the front, so I'd get pi on 2. Integral from 0 to pi on 2, 1 take cos 2x dx, which would be pi on 2, x minus, cos goes to sine 2x on 2, from 0 to pi on 2. Pi on 2, so that's pi on 2 take sine 2 times pi on 2, take 0, take sine 0 on 2. Now remembering the sine of 0 is 0 and the sine of pi is 0. Remember, this is my sine graph. 2 pi, pi and 0 are all 0. So I'd end up with pi on 2 times pi on 2, which is pi squared on 4 units cubed. So if we had to do it tech free, that would be the answer we'd get. If we just want to double check that, shift sin squared over 4, execute, notice it's the same value. So whether you went tech free or tech active, and that's question 7.